video, I want to talk about politics. Now, before you stop the video, I'm not going to talk about partisan and who we voted for, didn't vote for, but I think all of us would recognize, no matter what our political opinion is, that we live in a time of great division. Politics and the recent election have divided all of us. And I think as people of faith, this is a great opportunity for us to be those bridge builders, to be those peacemakers that Jesus talks about in the Beatitudes. The great philosopher Kierkegaard said, man by his nature is a political animal. And I think that's true. All of us have deep-seated feelings and emotions around politics and the topics and issues that they raise. And unfortunately, as we see, that leads to division, that leads to disagreement. But name-calling and accusations, as we all know deep down, don't get us anywhere. As people of faith, we're called to remind ourselves first, and then those around us, that when we work together is when we come closer to bringing God's kingdom into reality. And I think there's two important ways as people of faith we do that. The first is through prayer. To pray for our political leaders, to pray for others, even the people we don't agree with, even the people we don't like, to ask for God's guidance and blessing on them. St. Peter reminds us in his letter that it is a good and holy thing to pray for leaders, to pray for the emperor, so that God's blessing and peace may become a reality. So never underestimate the power of prayer. Number two is to recognize that we do a lot more by action than we do about whining. And what I mean by that is posting on Facebook or getting angry at people who disagree with us doesn't really change anything. It just perpetuates the problem. Volunteering in a homeless shelter, helping out, serving others is how we build those bridges, is how we make the world and ourselves better people. So in the midst of all this division, in the midst of all of this bickering, as the disciples of Christ, I think the Lord's giving all of us a unique opportunity to show our country the way by being people of prayer and by demonstrating service and bridge building instead of accusations and name-calling. Because when we do things like that, we plant the seeds of God's kingdom. And ultimately, it is his kingdom that all of us hope for and are working for in our lives. Not a sermon or a homily, but just something for all of us to think about and, more importantly, to do.